Hey everybody, well, it's time for me to do a review on RuPaul's Drag Race Season 6, Episode 6, entitled, Oh No She Better Don't, Oh No She Better Don't. That was my Bianca tribute. I'm thinking since it was like a throwback 90s style rap video, I should do something a little throwback. So I think I'm going to do my AHA Take On Me filter in 3, 2, 1. Much better. Okay, so I was requested to do more of my personal opinion on the episode instead of a traditional recap. And I had always thought that I had a nice balance of objective summary and personal opinions, but I guess I was wrong though. Before I start, I was sleuthing around Reddit because I get very antsy and nervous whenever I develop like personal favorites, aka Adore, Delano, and Bianca Del Rio. So I was trying to figure out like some insider information on how much further they go. And there's this one Reddit user by the name of I'll Never Tell You, I think, that seems to be like somehow involved in the show, or knows a contestant of the show, or is like just clairvoyant because they predicted or spilled some accurate information about the show. And it's like some Nostradamus shit here. So spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Do not listen to this next part or just listen to it with a grain of salt since we don't know for definite if the person is a real deal. But they predicted an A, B, C, D Final Four. And the D does not refer to Darian. If this is the case, then whew, because I love the A and the B, and I really want them in the finale so freaking bad. But then this person also hints that there's some monumental shift starting with the next week's double dose of Drag Race, and I'll talk about that later. And that one of my personal favorites might not even be in the finale. And if this is the case, I'll be so bummed out that, I don't know, I might like go straight. Ew, no, I won't do that, but I would be really super bummed. So if you want to sleuth around like me, go to Reddit and look at the post by I'll Never Tell You and make your own assumptions on their validity. Okay, so back to the episode, Oh No She Better Don't. I really enjoy the beginning of every episode now when they follow the queens after the eliminations because it seems like that's when they're in like the most raw. They just got done an emotional lip sync and sending another queen home. And you know, them bitches are emotionally and physically tired, so it's when they're really unguarded. And I like this aspect of the show. Laganja is still emotional about her lip sync against Gia, and even Trinity in her confessional, thanks lyric poet, it's called a confessional, I've been using the wrong word the whole time, points out that she needs to get out of her head because it's going to be like her downfall if she keeps worrying about how others are doing and not stepping up her own game. I can understand when Laganja points out that she's used to winning in the outside world because if you look at her freaking YouTube video, she is so effing fierce. I mean, look at her slay every performance with precision and amazing dance ability. And even in her amateur competitions competing against other queens, she's slaying. So I'm like unsure why she's struggling so much like in this game. I don't know if it's some like redemption arc they're editing for Laganja so she can start turning it out. But if she continues like this way, then she won't make it to the finale like I predicted. I do also want to comment when Trinity tells all the girls that she's HIV positive, and we find this out in the last Untucked. And the look on Bianca's face is so genuine, and it looks like she's emotional, and we find out later why. But we see that she really has a big heart underneath all that rough and tough insult comic exterior. And I hope this like further propels her popularity in the show and beyond because she really deserves it. She's been in this drag game a long time and her polish is like so evident. Even though there are like haters out there that think she's using the same silhouette in every outfit, like in every week, and that she's just relying on funny. I say like bullshit. She epitomizes C-U-N-T and knows what works well for her body, and she probably made all them damn gowns that she rocks like herself, so those haters can go kick some rock and enjoy like the true professional that she is at work. So we get some foreshadowing with Darian acting very cunty towards Dela because Dela's pointing out how she's won 2 challenges and asks if the other group of 6 has won twice, and Dela knows full well that no other queen has won 2 challenges, so she wanted to like feel herself and gloat, and I say go ahead and gloat. Don't be all coy and act like you aren't bragging. It's like, bitch, you won. Brag. You beat my girl Bianca. Barely. So brag, girl. Brag. And then Darian all of a sudden has some like personal vendetta against Dela. And in her confessional, she wants to send Dela home. So there's like a new rivalry storyline there, which is what saves Darian, I think. more on that later. But I love all the foreshadowing the editors are putting in here. Like, well, almost all of the foreshadowing. Like, for example, last episode, Jillian, one of the guest judges, and she's like a super fan of the show, points out that whenever a queen wants to stay true to their drag instead of listening to the critiques, they get sent home really soon thereafter. And it's like foreshadowing. And in this case, Bianca says there's probably something around the corner that's going to fuck him up because he's felt really great in this competition so far. And it's because he's probably top 3 status currently. And damn, Reddit has got me worried about this prophecy though. And on the record, can we ship Bianca and Adore? They seem to be like forming a good bond and even bounce insults at the other. Adore saying how she's like Beyonce because she doesn't do groups, instead of preferring to do solo work. And Bianca's like, at least Beyonce's dresses hit the floor, which is like one of Michelle's critiques of Adore, no, like not having gowns to go to the floor. Like it matters. I don't know why it matters the length of her gown. And then Adore comes back at Bianca with, well, so do your tits, which is like a veiled old joke. I mean, I ship these two hardcore. So there's like more annoying interaction with RuPaul's shemale. I mean, like, I can't stand how they like freaking ham it up when the shemale's up there. Like she's actually watching that. But like, it introduces us to the reading challenge. That's right, bitches. The library is open. And how cute is Bianca skipping up there, being the first to go? And she's got this gleam in her eye. And everybody's waiting for this all season because this is what Bianca does. And goddamn, he's such a freaking hot man. I don't know what y'all are thinking, but I think he's hotter than milk. Sorry about it. And at first I was kind of like, because I didn't think she went as hard as she could. But when I rewatch it, I see that her reads are pretty precise and professional. I think she got shafted because she didn't resort to like mean, jealous tactics like Darian. I personally think Jocelyn did phenomenal in that reading challenge as well. And she's getting by in this competition by like exceeding expectations. And that's what I really think. Because everyone had such low expectations of Jocelyn that anything she does is like, god damn, that's impressive. And now that I think about it, I kind of feel bad thinking she was gonna be the first to go in my predictions video. She's like really growing into like a fan favorite along with Bianca, Dela, and Adore. I also think Dela's reads were pretty spot on. Oh, I also noticed like this one joke Milk does that makes fun of Jocelyn not being pretty, and Courtney's like the one laughing the loudest. And that's like the extent of my impressions of Courtney this episode, because she was like pretty much non-existent. Jocelyn is far from ugly. Just check out these photos of boy Jocelyn. Not ugly. So Darian wins the reading challenge because she is the shadiest bitch of them all and gets to pick her team for the rap challenge. She picks what many consider like the stronger contestants, Adore, Bianca, and Courtney. Oh yeah, and she picks Laganja too. And Dela's like, why is this big bizzle not picking me? Like, she's like a strong contender for this crowd, and she's like wondering why Darian wouldn't pick her. In the words of Bianca, how'd that work? But this just heightens like the new Ben versus Darian rivalry storyline. But when you think about it, Darian picked pretty wisely. She picks like a hip-hop ingenue, which is Laganja, Bianca because she has a fast mouth, which is good for rapping, and the two singers. So it may have looked hateful, but I think it was more strategic. But they spin it as Dela, wondering why she isn't with the other alpha girls, and it makes Dela and Darian both look bad, actually, in my opinion. But that whole moment when they're doing their makeup and Bianca calls Dela out on her like shady, passive-aggressive question as to like why she wasn't picked by Darian, and it really did portray Dela as being whiny. Okay, can I just go on a tangent and say Adore has been coming to life in her confessionals more and more. Like, she's always been like the confessionals queen alongside Bianca, but Adore is just giving me life this entire episode in her confessionals. The way she's like clocking Laganja's choreography, going like, I don't want to be in sync, I want to be like Salt and Peppa. Like 90s rap wasn't like slick choreography. Actually, I don't think like any rap is really choreography. It's about like the attitude and being raw, and as Adore puts it, she spills ill shit on the daily. And she's from Azusa, so she'll like stab a bitch. I mean, like, God, she is life. So like, I agree when she's questioning Laganja's choreography, because it just seemed very like, you know, like amateurish, like not hip hop. It just seems so like you said, like bubblegum pop moves. Because I've seen YouTube videos of Laganja performing, and she wouldn't do that shitty dance in the outside world too. So I don't know who she's trying to fool. I don't know if like the producers tell her to like tank this challenge on purpose or something. I have no idea. But on a side note, how cute was Bianca doing the dance in the workroom? It was like so adorable. Oh, and how about when Adore is complimenting Bianca's rap performance? She's like, Bianca's doing amazing. She's fucking hilarious. She's everything I want to be when I'm 57. And then she gets like weak and goes, she's gonna kill me when she sees this. Like I said, I ship them so bad. I ship them. Also, can we discuss like that English lesson Dayla's trying to give Trinity? Like this saying that this was the perfect challenge to like practice her enunciating. And I personally found it rude because you have like heard some of the best rappers in the game for like the past 20-ish years, like 50 Cent and Kanye and Lil Wayne. And they slur and blur, and half the time you don't even know what they're saying. You're like, huh? But you still got into their shit. I know rap is moving towards like more pure stylists like Drake and like Common, and Nas have been doing clear, concise raps like forever, but still it's like a stylistic choice, and Trinity was like the most hip-hop in that group besides Jocelyn. Dayla, put a cork in it. Loves ya. Oh, did y'all see that part where Milk says about Darian that just because she picked the strongest people doesn't mean she's going to be saved? Oh boy, poor Milk. He's like so going to get blindsided by the storyline and the producers on this one. Like SMH. Also, I was trying to like figure out why Darian didn't just like upfront and tell Dayla the only reason she didn't pick her was because it was a rap challenge, and in her mind the ones she picked were stronger for the particular challenge at hand. Like, I don't know why she just wouldn't tell her that. Instead, I'm convinced the production whispered for her to keep ramping up this feud, or maybe like Darian figured out herself that in order to be safe, like you have to develop a compelling storyline, and what better way than to pick on the resident nice queen, which is Dayla. And look how far I got Roxy last season, all the way to the finale. And then Trinity gets to finally show off some of her talents when she's like in charge of choreography, and she shows us what hip-hop dancing should look like. And poor Dayla, girl got no rhythm, and it even makes Trinity laugh. So let's get to the rap challenge though with Trina and Eve. Yes, Darian's team is like the Panty Hoes, which is witty, and Bianca and Adore kill it. Bianca was giving me some Lisa Left Eye Lopez realness, but she also reminded me of like Lady Sovereign, that British rapper that did like Love Me or Hate Me. And Bianca just shows she can flow in any challenge, and I don't see how she can be stopped, so something has to be really up if she gets derailed before the finale. She's so quick-witted, and there doesn't seem to be a challenge she's failing at. And even when she wasn't in her rap, she was killing the extra shots, like stuffing the money down her shirt or taking a swig of this scissor. And Adore, of course, has like this thing nailed down. I mean, she flubs her lines, but she like shows attitude and personality. She like killed it. And you know she would kill it because Danny Noriega used to kill some Nicki Minaj flows on his YouTube channel, so this was like right up his alley. Oh yeah, and then Darian, Laganja, and Courtney, they were there too, I think. Oh, I just might have to rewatch it just to make sure they were there. Oh yeah, Darian was there. She sucked. The best thing she did was almost falling when she was trying to get down from the steps. She knocks the crap off the trash can, and Bianca in her confessional is saying, Darian's probably overthinking it. She's thinking about a sandwich. I was like, bitch! Bianca, you shady, girl. And Laganja, girl, Adore said it all in her confessional about you, so I can't even add anything further on that. So Team Dayla, they're the Ru-Tang Clan, and they were actually not that bad. I actually thought Dayla's persona, Creminem, was pretty witty, especially just like the name of it. And she actually pulled it off, which I was shocked, and she even put some French in there. It was a little cheesy, but you know, it was like 90s rap. And I mean, she was pretty hilarious in her confessional, like acting like a white boy trying to be hip-hop. And I don't care what the judges think. I love Milk's wise shots when she was like flailing and just being Milk. It looked like it wouldn't translate, but I think it looked good in the final product. Milk was the victim of like not being in a compelling storyline because Gia was eliminated, so she was like expendable. I mean, she was by far like not the worst. But the poor thing, she didn't really deserve to go, but she had no storyline. And Jocelyn looked so freaking fierce in this damn video. Girl can pull off some looks. She was serving real hip-hop, down and dirty, skankalicious video vixen. She actually looked like she could have turned around and did like a WWE all-female wrestling match, actually. Even Trinity had a good look. It was like T-Boz or something, and even though she was flubbing her lines, she still had the look down. But here's what I don't get. When they do music videos, I think like almost 100% of the time, it's recorded in studio and the artists are just like lip syncing to their tracks for the video, because it's hard to sing live while shooting a video because there's like a lot of things going on around the set. And in this case, Trina and Eve are laughing and whooping it up. So I don't know why it was such a big deal that they weren't getting their lines right, because I think in the final product, they were lip syncing to their pre-recorded tracks. I don't think it was live rapping. I could be wrong, but I've never seen a music video with live singing or rapping unless it's like a concert footage. So when we see both teams' final products, they all sound good because, you know, they probably recorded it with their lyrics like sitting out right in front of them. But anywho, I think the most memorable part of this episode, and my favorite part of this episode, involved Bianca and Trinity, and Adore to some extent, when they're preparing for their runway, and Bianca confesses that she's proud of Trinity for sharing her story about her HIV, and she compared it to a friend like that he knew in real life that was so ashamed of having the disease he passed without really telling Bianca. And it really humanizes Bianca. She's really getting a great edit from that callous insult comic to like a real human being with a big heart that really cares about people underneath it all. And Adore calls it when she says Bianca is a real big softie, and you can see that Adore really likes Bianca, and they make a really good team. So let's talk about that runway presentation though, where the girls are showing off their favorite body parts. Like when I rewatch it, I was like, oh, that was the theme on the runway, because I don't think some of the girls got the memo. Jocelyn is showing off that body and that ass. She's in a barely there outfit with a crap ton of jewelry. I mean a crap ton of jewelry. Bracelets, rings, long ass necklaces, chains. It was a lot of look. I personally was not a fan of her white lipstick, but overall she did follow instructions and show off her favorite body part. The judges agree that she wears a lot of accessories, and Jocelyn is aware of it too, but Ru personally likes it. But she says that Jocelyn needs to please the other judges too. Jocelyn gets high marks for her rap, and she deserved it. Oh, and points for Ru and Eve for the, I don't know how she could have so much on and still look so naked. Dela came out with like a tight blue dress with like snow leopard fur trimming and a matching hat. I mean, I guess she was showing off her curves. She said she was going for like Elizabeth Taylor, but it came off as matronly to me. Not my favorite look for Dela. Trinity served up yet another winning runway look. This show was just based on runway presentation. Trinity would be top 3, if not at the top. She looked real good in her hippie flower power child of the universe outfit, and she was showing off her six-pack. It looked flawless, like Naomi Campbell flawless. The only critique I have is Trinity said she was showing off 50s flower power chic. I was like, girl, you're 20 years early. And Trinity is making excuses again on the critiques, even though she claims to not want to make excuses. And it gets to the point where Ru has to cut her off. I was like, damn, you got cut the shiz off. And how about that borderline racist ghetto card comment from Santino? I'm not sure what Milk was showing off, but she looked like a messy mermaid with a big bow on her head. It looked real messy, and if this is what she thinks is a glamour look, then she needs to stick to what makes Milk Milk. It looked like real thrown together. I was kind of disappointed in this look, and the judges agree that they didn't like her outfit, but Trina liked her like rap movements. Santino was right when he said that Milk needed to focus on the details and her attempts at glamour, much like she does when she wears her Pinocchio outfit, for example. I was not personally like wild for Laganja's look, and I guess she was showing off legs, but there was a lot going on. But she can stomp a runway. I think she has like a great runway walk, and she really brings the energy. I don't know how she's so good at these runways and falling short everywhere else. I don't know how much longer her runway is going to save her. And Darian came out in another shiny, sparkly dress, and I'm like, and people say Bianca wears the same silhouette? Pfft, please. Michelle calls her out on this, but it was like brief, and I wish Michelle would have launched a full-on attack for wearing similar crap all the time. And Bianca looked amazing. I know I sound biased, but I think she looked her best tonight. That dress, that hair, the makeup, I mean, she looked beat to the gods. And you can even hear all the judges oohing and awing like when she walks into the runway. Like, I don't see why people are knocking her runway. Yeah, she doesn't like over embellish it like other people, but she always has like complete put together looks. She looked flawless here, and I think combined with her good reading skills and the good showing in the rap challenge, she should have won this week, because even though Adore was good at reading and good at the rap, she fell kind of short on the runway. I think they're really underscoring Bianca because they hold her to like a higher standard maybe. Michelle said Bianca was at her prettiest here, deservedly, and they all praise her work on the video. Santino calls her look though like Urkel, and I'm like, what the fuck? Does he not know TLC? Like, has he never watched What About Your Friends? Baby, Baby, Baby? Like, any of the TLC videos from Ooh on the TLC tip? I was, like, shocked that he didn't get the visual reference. And I personally think Bianca should have called him out on it on the runway. And Santino said she was coming off as a dude in her video. And I'm like, oh God, please watch some 90s hip hop. Adore really hammed it up on the runway, and that always scores well with the judges. They love a lot of personality on the runway, so no one has more personality than Adore. Her look to me was so-so. I think she needs more polish, and like she'd be unstoppable. The judges loved her rap video skills, And we all agree that she slayed that rap with her attitude and her flow. And she's like really quick with her responses on that runway too. Her and Bianca are like a real 1-2 knockout punch. Again, Michelle doesn't like her mid-shin length gowns. I mean, but look at Adore. Her body's like 3/4 legs. She has like legs for days. She needs a specialty dress to cover those gams. And then Courtney. I like the bedsheet reveal, and she looked flawless with her big beehive hair. But she's like technically only wearing a bra and panties. It's like, we know you got a body, girl. So here's my personal take on Courtney. So I've read a lot on Reddit that there's some big things in the works relating to Courtney. She's like the most recognizable besides like Adore and Bianca, I think. And she's like the most camera friendly because she's so naturally fish. According to Reddit, they created this drama about her resting on her laurels and relying on Pretty and her body so they could create a dramatic moment where she like gets her wake-up call and starts excelling in the runways. Like, how else can you explain the little warning Ru gives her before she calls her, Dela, and Laganja to safety? It seems like a carefully constructed segue from Ru, and I don't know. It's starting to get fishy. And we see this wake-up call is true because she's got like an amazing black and white outfit coming up. And we can't forget the amazing Angel Wings ensemble. So they did a bang-up job editing with Courtney, making sure her storyline arc is peaking in the middle of the show so she can have a strong run to the finale. That's why I'm worried about Bianca, because I hope they didn't show too much of her early so she burns out before the end. Like, they've built up Adore and Courtney, so I think they're giving them finale edits. Dela and Bianca are the next natural choices for the finale, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ru threw in Laganja or Jocelyn to keep like the show youthful and relevant. At this point, all the Reddit rumors are really coming off as truthful, and it's really sad how scripted this reality show has become if the rumors online are true. I think they're giving Bianca a good edit because they know they don't want her in the finale, and she's such great TV, and they didn't expect her to be so heartwarming. So to throw her a bone, they're giving her like good screen time so they can sacrifice her in the next couple of episodes. That's what I think, just rumor-wise. I mean, and I don't want it to happen because I want Bianca in the finale, but I have this terrible gut feeling something's going to eliminate her in like the double episodes we see coming up this Monday. So I don't want to be right about this one, but my gut's telling me there's something up. So in the end, it was Milk versus Trinity in the bottom two. I honestly think it should have been either Milk versus Darian or Darian versus Trinity. The only reason Milk was there is, like I said before, because she didn't have a compelling storyline like the Dela versus Darian one. And it's such a shame, and even Milk in her confessional admits that he was shocked he was even in the bottom. But I thought they were both good in their lip sync, though, Milk and Trinity. And I think it's the best one of the season, though it's not really saying much. But it's also one of like the best songs to ever grace the like lip sync stage, and Trinity and Milk really turned it out. And Trinity went for more understated sensual, and she moved with the rhythm of the song, while Milk went more theatrical and high energy. So like in any other year, Milk would have been declared the winner, but Trinity has a more compelling storyline with Bianca. So unfortunately, Milk was sacrificed. It almost seemed like Ru was weighing the decision in her mind, like, damn, I should say Milk, but Trinity's gonna be better TV. It just like reeks to me. But I eat this show up, so I mean, like, what can I do? So Trinity's declared the winner, and Milk gets sent home. And like the most heartbreaking thing about it is like the genuine emotion and sadness Milk has at being eliminated. He really wanted to be there and to get the world to understand his style of drag. He's going to be a star regardless, but I think he got royally shafted for the sake of storylines and ratings. In a way, it keeps Bianca around longer so she can have drama with Trinity, but she also has drama with Laganja, so I don't know about this one. Anyway, time for Untucked. And ooh, it was a good one. We only have Dela, Laganja, and Courtney in the Interior Illusions Lounge because they were the safe queens. And the scene with them in the gold bar, which I had previously thought was like the final three, and it still could be, but Adore star is rising, so it might push Laganja out. So the last interesting part is the three safe queens talking about who they think is in the bottom. And Laganja must have smoked before this whole conversation because she thinks Adore is in the bottom. But I do have to say Laganja did not annoy me nearly as much in this episode as she does in other Untucked episodes. But Dela and Courtney were like, Laganja, what you talking about, girl? Then Laganja does like a complete 369 and goes, well, of course I'd want Adore to win if it wasn't me winning, of course. They're really painting Laganja to be like this overachiever and Adore to be the underdog, and the roles are like reversing on the show now. But it's coming off as Laganja being drag snobby. I do agree that they've been ramping up the whole comedic thing the past few seasons, where performance kind of outweighs the look. But in the end, it's like the most well-rounded is going to win. And there are a few well-rounded queens this season, so I don't know who's going to rise to the top, but so far, the ABCD group is rising. And Courtney brings up the whole relying on pretty thing again, and it sort of came out of the blue, and it seems calculating and forced. It's like, y'all weren't even talking about that, and she just brings it up. She's like, oh, I gotta get people back on the storyline about me, you know, relying on my pretty, and then next week I'm gonna really show you how I transform. So it seemed like a really like forced thing. It was almost like The Hills or Laguna Beach or something. But Dela does a funny self-deprecating joke as they're like leaving for the gold bar, saying she's never been in there because she's always in the top 3. I mean, I kind of thought it was funny, but I could have sworn she's been in the gold bar before. So they do the game in the gold bar that they did in season 5, where they get a card and they have to guess the queen by asking questions like, is she pretty? Does she have good outfits? Etc, etc. And Courtney comes off real snooty, especially when getting questioned on Jocelyn and Bianca. She's just lucky she's going to get some sort of redemption spin soon, or else the fans would abandon her, like, for sure. But she has some killer looks coming, so she'll probably win the people back. God, I am really loving this aha take on me filter. I love it. So as for the rest of the card game, all I have to say about Dela, Courtney, and Laganja is shady apes. Thank you, Vivacious. I really enjoyed the Silver Lounge action with the top and bottom queens much better. Jocelyn is really starting to come up in this game, and her explanation as to why she over-accessorizes makes a lot of sense. She says her look is like real fishy, and if she didn't put on like 37 bracelets and bangles and like 122 different necklaces and like one big one that she always wears, then she would just be like a fishy queen, and that's not drag enough. And she gets her first awesome hashtag love it or shove it. Like, I lived for that. And how about Jocelyn getting all ballsy with Trinity? Okay, here's another thing. Did y'all notice, like, that weird edit? When Darian first brings Trinity into, like, the conversation, she's, like, sulking in the corner, but her drink is full. And then Bianca asks her point blank what she does successfully, and then her drink is empty. And then Trinity launches into the she hates when Untucked focuses on her, and her drink is full again. It makes it look like she's dodging Bianca's question, but I think what really happens is Darian tries to bring her into the conversation, and that's when Trinity goes into her I hate when the focus is on her, and then the altercation with Jocelyn, and then Bianca's question. But we don't like get the edit of Trinity's real answer. It's such a weird edit. Like, and if you weren't like focusing on their drink levels, like for some reason I was, then you'd miss it too. But yeah, Jocelyn is like, you sit in the corner sulking, and that's why shit comes back to you. And in her confessional, she's like, I can't be Trinity's cheerleader. I gotta focus on myself and sending her home. I was like, can we have a possible Jocelyn and Trinity lip sync in the works? And bravo to Adore for seeing through Laganja's thinly veiled and transparent apology. It really comes down to Laganja doesn't have Gia anymore, and she feels the need to buddy up again with Adore because she has no like other support system there really. And Adore is doing awesome, so why not buddy back up with her? But I'm glad Adore is like seeing through it and not falling back into that friendship blindly during the competition. Outside of it's cool, but during it, she's not buying it. But the best part of Untucked this episode is the letter from Gia. And I used quotations because Gia using some of those words in that letter, like, yeah, right. I think it's a letter from Gia as translated for print by the production staff. When you pause the screen after Milk's confessional about not being bothered, you see that Gia has some kind words for a few of the queens. Like, I could read the letter. She secretly hopes Courtney makes top 3. She apologizes to Adore for things getting sticky in the end, and she can't wait to kiki with her after the show ends. And she says Adore has like miscongeniality in the bag. And of course she has kind words for Laganja. She reads Milk, Bianca, and Jocelyn, and they don't mention what she says about Trinity, Darian, and Dela. I'm guessing they weren't bad because they didn't air it. I love Bianca saying that Gia is reading them from the dead because it's true. her ass is at home trolling and they're still there and still going. But I guess the producers wanted some letter or something because she was so good at being shady. They needed to show it since she didn't make it to the reading challenge. I'm sure she would have been real cunty during that reading challenge if she stayed. Well, that was my review of episode 6 of Oh No, She Better Don't. And I hope I injected more of my personal opinions, not that y'all gave a shizzle anyway. I'm just kidding. But since I'm like a Z celebrity in my own mind, I thought I'd share my personal opinions a little more. So next week we have a double showing of Drag Race with 2 Untucked episodes. We see that there's some sort of black and white runway, which is another look of Bianca's that's been hidden from all those Untucked trailers. And we also see Courtney is in a much more daring waiter style look. And of course Adore is freaking Manila Luzon the house down. And even Laganja looks like she has like a killer black and white look in this one. So like the main consensus from Reddit is that this is a non-elimination week. So the queens and the lip sync, both of them probably killed it and Ru saves them both. We also see that there's a comedy challenge or a roast in there. And I'm guessing that's where we get our Bianca soundbite about Santino and Michelle. So now the rumors about Bianca are varied. A big portion of them revolve around her somehow being ousted in the second show. But there's no reason for it, just some people claiming to be insiders saying that this is the end of her line, while another portion say she's top 4. So I don't know what to believe, but considering the most reliable source first stated that Bianca was definite top 4, but then made a veiled statement saying they may or may not have planted one of the names in the top 4 to throw us off, makes me kind of scared for Bianca. And the same source also said that Bianca is not going to win a crown or money. So I'll keep investigating, but I hope these rumors are wrong, because she is way too fierce, and she's my favorite along with Adore, and they both need to make it to the finale. Okay, so see, I told you I'm really long-winded, but y'all asked for it. But I can't wait because 2 episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race and 2 episodes of Untucked coming up in a few days from now on Monday night. It's gonna be freaking bananas, and I just can't wait to see what's gonna happen. I just hope the rumors are false. I hope Bianca stays in there till the finale. I mean, look at all the polls online. Look at all the comments and the threads. Everybody loves Bianca, just about. She's universally loved. So if she doesn't win this thing, she better get Miss Congeniality. Sorry, Jocelyn, you're nice too, but Bianca needs something from this experience. So that's my take on it. Thanks for watching. Sorry I sound all stuffy. Like I said, allergies are killing me. I've tried everything. Claritin, Zyrtec, whatever. I'm about to try one of those neti pot things. But anywho, enough about me. So I'll catch y'all next week with my supersized review of the supersized episodes coming up this Monday night. So take care, everybody.